I guess. Last part three of three expectations and tips for success. So, in the last video, we talked about how we're going to access the content either through Edpuzzle or eCadence. For the most part, it's going to be in our learning management system, eCadence. Just like Schoology that we had last year, it's going to house everything that we need to be successful. Where we find and submit work, once again, eCadence. Submitting is either through electronically or handing it and showing Mr. Schultz as we review your documents and so, okay, you have everything. You're ready for the test. Let's get going, and so on. Also, understanding how we're going to have a successful self pacing plan. So, for example, we're going to have weekly checks and we're going to see, okay, are you on track? What do you need to do in order to get on track? And how can Mr. Schultz help you be successful? So in this video, we're going to give some expectations and some tips for success. So first up, we're going to be utilizing the 5 C's with collaboration, communication, critical thinking, creativity, and compassion. Those 5 C's are going to make you successful in the real world, in real world jobs, as much as they're going to be successful in the classroom. So some other things I'm going to be expecting you is to stay on task while you work through our curriculum, take risks, own your own work, and advocate for yourself. So in a nutshell, that means you're going to do your work. You can, talk to your neighbor, you know, make friendships, understand where, everyone is going through in this whole um, life scenario of ours, but you need to be doing the work as well, okay? So, as long as you're completing the work and you're collaborating, I'm fine with it. Let's continue. Some tips for success. If you pass the basic test, try the intermediate and the advanced test. See if you can, get better each time. You should be a self starter. Find out what you can do next. This is also known as being proactive. Reflect on your work and you as a learner. I always think whenever I'm playing some tennis games, I think, all right, how can I get better? What am I doing that isn't being successful? What little things can I tweak in order to be a better player? Same thing applies in the classroom. How can you be a better student? Maybe you scored an 85%. Okay, well, you missed one thing. Why didn't you get that? Is there something you could have done differently? Think about it, reflect, and move on. Sometimes we just have to move on, and sometimes we can go back and fix things. But it's okay to move on and make our changes for the future. Some other tips I would say is, hey, keep up with the work, don't fall behind. Whenever I've implemented this, students start feeling some pressure the moment they start stopping. So make sure that if you are falling behind, that you have a plan. So I know that I'm going to be checking in with you to see, okay, you're falling behind a little bit. Let's make sure that you're doing this. So I'm going to make sure sometimes my room is open at lunch. If you want to come in and watch some videos, I'm going to make sure that I'm available for you to help you out. Some other things I would say, hey, make sure you're taking good quality notes in your math notebook. Take those practice tests and, just go for it. Sometimes, even if you're doing just the basics, sometimes it's good to try to do some of the advanced stuff. That will help you out in the end. So last thing, your must do after you've finished all these is to complete your Unit 1 vocabulary. Once again, your should do's are, the con getting ready for algebra course challenge, the con assigned activities competition, which is a competition. The more assignments you finish, the higher ranking we have, the more drawings we get. Let's try to win. And finally, the ALEX, which is you're going to log into eCadence, go to the textbook, go to ALEX, and complete your initial knowledge check.